Welcome back to Real Gun Adventures and a quick look at the Vector Optics Veyron first focal plane scope. Sorry about that. So I don't do unboxings generally, and this isn't what this is going to be. This is a sort of quick look over before I take this out and use it in the field and see how we get on. Now the Veyron is quite a short scope, but it's a small package that packs a big punch. It's a really nice quality, really well made, quite lightweight scope considering the specification. Now the reticle on this is a really nice reticle. There's a picture of it on the box there. It's a nice fine reticle. Being first focal plane, as you zoom, obviously it zooms in on the reticle as well. Comes with these flip up end caps, which I do like to see, and a honeycomb sunscreen in there. Had to get a bit of sun in there to actually show it to you, but that's a nice touch as well. And obviously that's more useful for the bullpup users because you don't want to screw on a 2 or 3 inch sun shield that's going to make it longer. From a rifle point of view, bullpups would probably be ideal for this because it's short, it's a good specification, and it's not going to add a great deal of weight to your setup. It does come with a set of rings, and they are actually really nice scope rings. I'm going to use those, I think. It's the pull and twist type turrets, and they are very firm and very positive. There's nothing about that that's ambiguous. They lock down and that isn't going to go anywhere. Same for windage and elevation. There's your windage there, it's exactly the same. And then on the left hand side here you've got your parallax adjustment, which is again nice and firm. That isn't going to be knocked out of adjustment anytime soon. The actual zoom ring, that's nice and smooth. There's nothing nasty or gritty about that. Don't know what that noise was. It sounds like someone's just diverted a train past the back of the house. Anyway, not to worry. Yeah, overall it's a nice tidy package. I've looked through it and it is a really nice clear optic. I'm really looking forward to getting this out there and doing some shooting, which will hopefully be in the next day or so. I just wanted really just a quick proper look at it because I haven't done that yet, and I usually try to at least do a first look of anything that's coming up for review. Obviously that's a 30mm tube, so that's going to let plenty of light in there. Okay, price. One of these will set you back somewhere between sort of 2 and 250, depending upon where you buy it from. Now that might sound expensive. Yeah, you can buy a scope. You can buy an alright scope for 100 quid. You can buy a Victor Optics scope for 100 quid. That is very nice, but it won't be as nice as this. It won't be as high spec as this. It's probably made in a very similar way. I've got one and I think it's a brilliant scope, but I think this is a far superior scope. Now, while I'm on the subject of the price of scopes, I've got what I call my spare scope, which is actually a Victor Optics scope. It's a 3x9 by 40. It's just a real basic. I think it was about 50 quid. And I do just keep that to pop onto rifles if I'm doing a review and I don't have a scope with them or for them. And it's great, you know, 30 yards. There's no parallax issues with it because I'm only shooting at a set distance. I zero it to sort of 25 or 30 yards and away I go. And, you know, I don't have any problems. It works on everything. It's been on some quite hefty rifles and they haven't managed to break it. So yeah, you can buy relatively inexpensive scopes, but they don't do the same as these do. You know, this will allow you to compete with scopes that cost a lot more money. My Hawk Eclipse up there, let's just have a quick look at that. This one's actually going to come off the rifle and the Veyron's going on. So there's the Hawk Eclipse, same kind of money. Obviously it's much bigger, similar specification, 25mm tube, so straight away it's at a disadvantage. Now the Bantam is quite a big bullpup, if you can call it a bullpup. I think they refer to it as a semi bullpup, but it will definitely benefit from a shorter scope. Just from getting the thing in and out of the bag, that will be an advantage. So I'm looking forward to trying this. I'm going to try this on, I'll pop it on the Hats and Flash Pub too. which is kind of crazy because it's probably a similar value to the rifle. But why not give it a go? So that will be in the next few days. I'll be uploading that video. In the meantime, if you're interested in the Vector Optics scopes, they're widely available everywhere. Have a look around, read the reviews. I've not seen a bad review on these, which is why I've got one. And I've had the Vic Optics, got a couple of those. I've got the cheap one and I've got the more expensive one, which has got the side wheel as well, which is a nice touch. On that note, actually, the one thing I think that's missing from this is on the Vic Optics, I do have a tiny little lever that screws in, which does make it that bit easier to turn. This doesn't, and it doesn't seem to have the option to do that. But that's a small niggle, really, considering. So, value for money wise, for what you get for your money, a first focal plane scope of a very high specification with excellent glass, this is good value. If you were to compare it to a £100 scope, you'd see straight away. I mean, somebody said to me some time ago, once you've tried a first focal plane, you'll never go back. I've tried them before, and I have gone back, but not because I don't like the first focal plane or they don't suit me. It depends on what you're doing with them and your situation. And there are situations where they are excellent. And maybe we can generate that situation when I do the review. Anyway, that's enough for now. Please like and subscribe. It's a big thank you to all those that do. It's not an unboxing, but in the box you do get one of these keys, which is a really, really useful thing to have. Obviously a cleaning cloth. This is a discount voucher to be used on a Continental if you want to buy one of those. Poker chip feels like some kind of alloy. I mean, that's kind of says a lot about the quality of what we're dealing with. What else was in there? There's an Allen key, and there was a little Velcro badge which is stuck on one of my rifle cases somewhere. And the box itself is substantial. It's the difference between perhaps an iPhone and the packaging that you get with that and a £50 Android phone from Argos. They'll both make phone calls, but there's an awful lot of extras you get when you trade up to the more expensive stuff. Quite often it's difficult to justify the price difference between A and B, and a certain amount of it is down to brand snobbery, I suppose. It's not the case with the Vector Optics. You know, you get a lot of bang for your buck. You would have to spend another 150, maybe even 200 on another brand to get that specification and quality. I'm not saying it's better than the Hawk, but it's just it's a high spec for the same money. To get the Hawk with that spec would cost me another 150 quid. So I wouldn't class the Veyron as a budget scope. It's a mid-price scope, but you do get an awful lot for that slight extra in the cost of it. I say slight extra, I'm probably talking an extra 100 quid, but that 100 quid is money well spent if you can run to that, if your budget will allow it. I mean, if you've got some people have £2,000 or £3,000 PCP air rifles, they're not going to go out and buy a £75 Nico Sterling scope. They might even buy an £800 scope, but they would get probably an awful lot of mileage out of buying one of these. Anyway, I'm waffling again. It's only going to be a short, quick look video, so I'm going to go. So thanks again for watching. I'll be back very soon. Got a review on that. I'm going to put that on the Bantam, so it would be a Bantam review at the same time, a Brocock Vector Optics review. And there is a lot of stuff coming, an awful lot of stuff. I've got stuff everywhere that's partially filmed, all needs editing up together and getting out. So I'm going to be busy. Anyway, that'll do. See you again soon. Bye for now.